This week I've been continuing to work on the current sensor. Instead of trying to doing it by writing code and manually converting the voltage readings to current, I tried building an actual circuit to be able to do this for me. So I had the VN coming in from my current sensor. It had a DC offset of 2.5 volts, but it's sending in through a sine wave. And my goal was to use 2 op amps in order to pretty much rectify the signal, as we can see here, to become only DC. I then attached at this part right here 2 capacitors in order to smooth out the signal to try to become as straight as possible. Over here is the actual circuit that I built. There's a lot of wires going on because I was working on multiple things, but the goal of this was just to convert all of my sine waves into DC. I took many readings at different parts. I was measuring both the DC voltages as well as the AC voltages before the signal conditioning circuit as well as after, which was at V2. And I measured it with different light bulbs using 0 bulbs, 1 bulbs, and 2 bulbs, which is over there. I would be turning on and off the bulbs at different times, manually measuring the current and the voltage using my multimeter, and then displaying all of my readings on here. So I'm continuing working on that, and the second thing that I was mainly working on was trying to come up with a backup battery system that would be switching on over using a relay. And here is the circuit. If this 5 volts ever goes out, then the relay would kick in the battery to send it to the rest of the components, and it would be temporarily be powered using capacitors in order to power the system.
So this week my main focus was to work with the RTC, which is a real-time clock, which is right here, and it pretty much uses a DS1307 clock or chip, and it's pretty much it's used to keep track of time and day, month, year, all that. And the reason we want this is because we want to measure our current values, and for each minute we want to record that into a file that could later be graphed like current over time. And so we want to have like specific times like when the power is consumed, and then this will also be used to set like timers. Like one of our features is to set a timer that will turn off the outlet after the time has run out. And then the main focus that we're trying to do is trying to get this working, but the only problem is that we encountered a problem when we were trying to program it. So we keep getting an error that pretty much says that there's a library that is not being used, but so far I've been looking into what libraries I could use to like help me solve this problem, but still it's a continuing effort because we did get our parts came in this week, so we've only had like 1 or 2 days working with this component. And then the other thing I've also been working on are the bistable relays, because our main task today was to connect the relay to the integrated circuit to our Bluetooth and our TNC, because our task was to send a signal to turn and off the light bulb that's like back here with using a signal from the Android phone. But the only problem is we ran into a problem where we can't turn off the bistable relay because there's not enough power to send a signal to turn off or switch the relay. Yeah, so hopefully by next week we're able to like solve this problem, have the time working and the bistable relay working by turning it off on and out with our phone.